Alright folks, so just for the hell of it in this video, we are going to install a RX 460 OEM version. So this is something you would find in a bigger HP or Dell computer. We're going to install it using a PCI ribbon extension cable, and just to see what kind of performance this could have if the computer was actually bigger, to be able to support something like this. So I haven't really done a whole lot of research on this as far as what video cards it will accept. I do know that a lot of times these will take the GT 1030 low profile, at least if it's like the Dell 3470. It'd have to really be low profile, and I don't know that you would get a lot of benefit out of actually using it. So this is going to be kind of haphazard, the way we're just going to let this thing sit here like so. So I'm going to run a benchmark on it eventually. We'll plug this in the HDMI so we don't forget about it later, and hopefully the HP will recognize this. I think I've got it set up for Wi-Fi. If not, we will have to do that step. And oops. The front case cover is a little loose. Okay, so we've got everything, hopefully. I'm going to power it up. And this power supply is probably only good for 200 watts. This is a low draw RX 460, so we should be okay. But if you're at home and you've bought this computer, I'm assuming you're probably pretty darn frustrated with it. Let me bring the monitor over. Alright, so we actually we got it to recognize it, and I gotta be careful there that nothing pops into the CPU fan. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see my little dinky monitor here. Surprisingly, this thing is a TV. It's actually 1080p. So let me pause this. Alright, so surprisingly, we have a picture. We have no sound there for some reason, which I thought I had downloaded all the drivers for this HP. But let's go ahead and try the user benchmark just to see what this will do with a G49 Celeron 8th gen processor in it, and adding the RX 560. This does have 12 gigs of RAM. I did upgrade it to a solid state drive. I believe it's the Samsung PM981, which is just about equivalent to a EVO 970. I think the numbers are a little worse than the 970. Better than EVO 960, but not quite as good. So if we see the graphics thing come up here shortly, then we know we're going to be good with the benchmark. Otherwise, we're going to need the drivers. And so far I see no graphics, so probably going to have to do some more troubleshooting. Alright, so unfortunately it did not work that go around, so we're going to go find some drivers for it and fix this. Alright, so quite possibly it is due to not having the actual RX 460 driver for the graphics card. So we're going to download that and install it. Alright, so drivers installed, restarting. Alright, so she rebooted, put our password in, and run the benchmark again. Alright, so we actually have some adjusting to do with the monitor settings, but we're going to go ahead and run this now. Alright, so we see graphics, so that is a good sign. This benchmark's going to work. Alright, so let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Of course we can't see this very well. Eventually this will readjust on its own, but for now. Alright, so I don't know if you can even see that. Let's try and get you guys closer to the screen. Okay, I think not the best angle in the world, but an angle all the same. Okay, so through that effort, we actually would be able to game somewhat on this computer. I would not say it'd be particularly awesome, but you would be able to game, do some definite low settings on 1080p, I'm sure. Definitely some high settings on 720 and whatever you might find between 720 and 1080p. Definitely not going to do 4K on this, and we're 2K for that matter. So this does make it a better desktop and a better workstation. However, I would not use this processor to do CAD or animations. It just doesn't have the horsepower to it to be very good at it. Not to say it can't do it, it just would not be that great. So a lot of actually what's making this thing almost kick butt would be the fact that it went from 4 gigs of RAM to 12, and the solid state that's in here, which is underperforming, I'm sure. Yeah, this is not one of the better scores for this. Not sure exactly why that is, but it is definitely underperforming. Now, I think I have the scores before this, before I put the graphics card in. Nope. These are, yeah, even then the benchmark was not doing that good, so I unfortunately don't have it before I did the upgrade. Or do we? Let's see. There we go. Okay, sorry. Here's what it was before we put the graphics card in. And you can see that it made quite a bit of improvement in a lot of places. The solid state actually performed better, and I believe this is a PM981, which usually is it does a lot better. Right now it's looking like it would inside of a laptop, so that's kind of scary. Laptops, for whatever reason, seem to just kill off these high-end NVMe M.2 SSDs. So there you have it, folks. We've almost made this into a gaming computer, but not quite. If I had a, let's see, if I still had my GTX 1050 Ti, we would probably see some scores in the higher 30s. And, all these other guys, desktop and workstation, would go up. So that's about all. Just want to share with you my results. And I may just, try and play some Fortnite on this. Alright, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.